questions are two. I'm Asari, Oskani TV. First of all, the invite of Dede Ayew, the captain for the side, has been in the news for this after the squad was announced. I'm expecting you to please address it on why you invited the captain for not playing for a while and also clubless. Then Richard Ofori, also the goalkeeper, got an invite, and Edmond Addo. Edmond Addo, the midfielder, has also not played for some time now. Then finally, Patrick Pfeiffer, the defender.
Please let him answer the first part.
Right,
so
thank you.
Edmond Addo, Andre, and then
Richard Ofori.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then when he's done.
Yes, I can answer all three in one. You know what I always have to do. I have to look at the balance of the squad. I have to look at the injuries that we've acquired before the squad was announced, and I have to get that right balance of experience. Is this the right game to bring in players that are not proven, that have maybe not been in the squad before? Yes, there can be some part of that, but also there has to be a part of having some stability in the squad in what is a vital game. So for everybody, there's nobody that has the right to be in any squad. They have to earn that right, and that can come in different ways. That can come with somebody like Andre, who's our captain, who's a big influence and respectful player around the squad. So for what he can add to the squad, and Edmond Addo, for the games that he's played, and also for the options that we have in central midfield. And you might think different, but we certainly, as from offensive midfield, we don't have as many options as what we have in other positions. Particularly players that have played and been in previous squads. So for every player that's in there, there's a thought process that goes on. Nobody gets into the squad just because it's a squad. There's a thought process for every single player, and that's for me to think about. It's always difficult for everybody that wants to pick a squad, because I'm quite sure if I spoke to all of you individually, the squad would differ by 5-6 players for all of you. But it's my responsibility to pick a squad that I think will win us the game.
Right. And then what was the question about Patrick Pfeiffer?
Finally, even though I understand that you are watching some particular kind of players, but I was asking on Patrick Pfeiffer, since he switched nationality from Germany to Ghana last year. Among the 5 players, only Patrick is yet to get an invite to the national team. I'm only asking if you have been watching him and what is the situation on Patrick. Thank you.
Yes, I'm aware of Patrick. I spoke with him quite some time ago. He has had some difficulties. He had some injuries in that period of time, but he is a player that's very much on the radar, that we are aware of. I think he's injured at this moment. I don't think he's playing at this moment. I think he started maybe the first game of the season in the pre-season. So he is a player that we are aware of. But I have to say, he is certainly since I've been in this job, I've been made aware, or through our scouting system, through myself. There are so many either first or second generation Ghanaians that can be or are available to play. But Patrick is certainly one very much that we are aware of.
So you take the next one, then Sahara, and then Said, and that will be it. So the final 3 questions.
All right, Coach, I'm Robert Dramani with Hello FM, Despite Media. Coach, my question happens to be on the local player Jonathan Sowa. He's called up to the Black Stars. How is he coping up with the team, and is there a possible debut for him come Thursday?
Firstly, yes, it's good to see him in the squad, and I think he deserves it. I was fortunate enough to see him again on Sunday. Scored 2 goals and potentially could have scored another 2. It is and has been my responsibility to, watch as many games as I can. I can only watch so many because although this is our local league, we also, of course, have a huge amount of players playing in Europe. So I watch as many games as I can, and which allows me, one, to get an understanding of the levels of the leagues and the teams, and but more so about the individuals. And Jonathan was one, I have to say, that was brought to my attention first before I had the opportunity to see him. So yes, he will be in the squad, and I say very much deservedly so.
Coach, Salas Fiawi, Sahara football. Kumasi, we know is the home of Ghana football. The Black Stars haven't lost here in over 20 years. Yesterday, the fans were not happy not to have a few of the players in training. What message do you have for them? What should they expect tomorrow? A message to the fans of Kumasi.
Well, firstly, we apologise that we can't allow our fanatical supporters in for both training days. It's a difficult decision, but we have some work to do, some tactical work to do. That, as we all know, in these days of social media and their mobile phones, so they can video and so. So it's impossible really to allow 2 days, but today we will, and we are always grateful. I don't think there's one player that's not excited to see him, to get an early feel of also what they can experience tomorrow. Most have experienced it, but it still gives us an early feel of what they'll experience. But I think also more importantly, it's an opportunity for the Black Stars to give something back to our supporters. And I have to speak about here in Kumasi because this is where we are and this is where the game is. But our support here has been incredible. We have a very competitive game tomorrow. Our support can make the difference. They can, and they have made the difference in the past. And we very, very much appreciate, and we hope as many as possible turn up to support us.
Right, Said, you take this one. I give you the final back. So give it to Said, please.
Coach Said, Akuma FM. Coach, Gredon Che is playing for Clermont-Ferrand in France. Why is he not in the squad, but clubless Dede Ayew in the squad? Simple one.
Most players were not in the squad. Let's move on. Let's make progress.
Plus with us, he says his paperwork hasn't come through.
No, shouldn't say.
Yeah, sorry about that. Was just checking something. Yes, I am aware of Grijon. I've seen him play. I was in France a few weeks ago just to see a few games there. So I am very much aware of. But what I can tell you is that you have mentioned one name. You could mention 20 or 30 names. That's and this is what I have found since I've been in the job. That there are, if I have to pick a squad, 24, 25 players. The amount of players that are very close to being in that squad have grown, and it's got bigger and bigger. And almost as each few weeks go, there's another player that's recommended to me, or through our scouting system, or through the files that we have. So he would just be one of numerous players. And I have a squad to pick. Those that are not in the squad, all they can do is continue or work as hard as they can in their club football, whether that's here in Ghana or in Europe, to do as well as they can to potentially at some stage earn the right to be in the squad.
Hello,
What's the final one? Yeah.
My name is Yampo for Junior GTV Sports Plus. Now, Thomas Partey is a big player for Ghana. He's kicked over 80
plus forward zone passes for the Black Stars. And when you look at passes over 150 in the African qualifying series, he's one of the top players when it comes to progressive passes in the Black Stars. In the absence of Thomas Partey, is there anyone who can help in progression, given the metrics of the other players, which is below 40 plus progressive passes?
Yes, it's a good question, and we are very aware of Thomas's abilities in that midfield, and whether he's playing in a deeper position or whether he's playing higher in an 8, he gives the team a composure and a quality on the ball. But it's my responsibility to scout as hard as we can, okay, and identify similar type players. You know, it is probably an area. It's probably an area that certainly for the ones that have been in the squad. We don't have so many. Kofi, of course, is somebody who's been out injured for a while, that has that type of ability as what we regard as a number 8. But it's my responsibility to source and find the amount of players that we need, the creative type players in midfield that Thomas would be.
Right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Coach, for coming, and all the best tomorrow.